Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Quiver podcast. And medyo, I don't think we're very happy right now. Why are you smiling, Brian?
Ano
uh,
yan eh,
so,
you have to smile para hindi makita yung
Oo,
frown. Kasi default face
ano
ko
pa
uh,
frown
rin.
eh.
uh,
We
yeah,
still we still control our destiny pa rin naman kahit papaano.
uh,
So,
so today,
That's not talo
I'm joined.
Ateneo eh. So that's a reason to smile about.
correct?
Okay,
Correct?
okay, fair. All right, so tonight I'm joined by Brian and Vic. So today we lost a nail biter to Adamson. That was a 1 point, the one
Another
point
one.
loss. Another one. I think before we start off this episode, to those that have been listening to us over the last few, um, during the season in particular, for the lack of, I think, medyo sawa na kasi kami to talk about the free throws. It's valid. Like, don't get me wrong. If we made maybe 90
Or
to
if
8,
you if
yeah,
you
if
take
you
the
made,
Gian Gomez unsportsmanlike foul
yeah,
shots, very
Yeah,
yeah,
someone.
correct. Oo, tama.
yeah.
Tama.
Yeah, I mean, if we made 90% of our free throws, we'd be 13-0. Right? Let's just go straight to that. And I think there's a lot more to this game and to this loss and the loss to FEU than just free throws. I think we're gonna try very hard to dissect in this episode. Um, but I think the primary reason why this happened is because si Brian watched live and Brian has not
Oo
yet
nga eh.
won a single game
Oo
this
nga!
season.
0-4.
So thank
Oo.
you for watching the
Pero,
quiver.
pero, in my defense, even when I didn't watch, we still lost eh. So, baka may iba pa ako kasama. Baka may iba pa ako kasama kanina na nanood din ng dalawang talo na wala ako nun. So,
Oo nga, no?
Uh,
Oo nga, no?
so thank you for watching the quiver. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our page, and please send a message to Brian not to watch anymore.
ano
And you
yan?
know,
Manonood ako sa Sabado. So, wala na. Lista na natin yun. 6 and 7.
Wag,
6,
wag,
7.
wag.
As the Gen
Wag,
Alpha would
wag.
say. 6.
Oh.
no.
Wala
So
yan, wala yan, wala yan. Note
yeah.
pa rin tayo, note pa rin tayo.
So anyway, aside, our point is like it's really more than the free throws are just one part of the story, but there's a lot more to this story. And I think while we cannot disclose what we talk about in our um group chat, I will say that probably this was the one game that I think the Quiver team in general was most afraid of. Not because we lacked the faith in the team. We always have faith in the LaSalle team, but it was because of our showing against FEU, and it's more or less what we think is quite similar to what happened today against Adamson. So let's probably break it down. We had a good third quarter, but maybe let's talk about the first. Maybe Vic, Brian. Let's talk about the first half. Muna, we were down coming into the half, but we came out the gates so flat. And maybe you guys want to talk about that a little bit more. Maybe
Okay.
Brian, you can start. Then Vic.
Okay, sige. Well, I would really highlight that moment just before half turn the tide for us. And eventually, kung gusto natin i-nitpick yung free throw, we can also nitpick this moment. We looked in control. At least at least we have our noses in front. 26 to 30 pa nga yun eh. It started first with the
Yeah.
split free throws. I forgot who split his free throws, but 27-13. And then there was that non-call that led to 29-30 kasi uh, 28-30, sorry, because of a technical foul in Coach Lopez. And then from the resumption of play, Hatres Adamson, if I'm not mistaken. So that's 31-30. And then there were a couple of Cedric Manzano baskets, if my memory serves me right. So that eventually, and then may split free throw tayo kay Pablo Alba. So that's 35-31. I was thinking, ito yung mga weak spots natin so far in this losing streak eh. If we look at the NU game, we allowed them to finish the half ahead by 12. FEU game, they even stretched that lead to 14. Nababa lang natin ng 10 somewhat. So there is that question mark about finishing the first half. And if you look at that first round game we had against Ateneo, that's also where they really separated themselves from us. I mean, syempre, third quarter would be a bigger quarter for them eventually. But without that kind of second quarter, we would have been just within touching distance, and who knows how that second half could have panned out. Diba? So I think there is a concern with how we close out the first half of games. The only first halves we played well, we won. UST and UE, but that's on the backbone of good shooting. And right now, at least in the games today, we kind of miss that hot shooting, and that's where the question lies. Kasi diba, when we win, it looks good. When everyone makes their shot, it looks good.
Yun.
But at the same time,
Agree.
when plan A doesn't go to plan, what's your plan B? What's your plan C?
Correct.
Which kind of is a question mark now, especially coming into this big week. Diba? So that's for me. And
All
Vic.
right.
Uh,
Yeah. Siguro
marami pa
before,
sinadagdag.
yeah, siguro before Vic, before you speak, Vic, um, just talk about the last few games. Um, Brian was correct in saying that if there's a plan A, there's no plan B, and all of these things. But what do you think that our plan A has changed after playing against NU? What I mean by that is that against the other teams, when we had that relatively long winning streak, not so long, but we had that winning streak. I always felt that our primary option was to go inside first, even though we did not have the right big man, right? Mason has been injured, but now that Daep has not played and um Phillips is our only big man apart from Bright. I kind of feel like we're shooting a little bit more from the outside. What do you think about this, Vic? Like, is this the assessment, and is this probably why we're struggling offensively?
I think ito yung na-touch natin to a little bit kanina sa GC. Parang we are playing more of a read and react, more on 4 out, 5 outs. Tapos read and react most of the time yung ginagawa natin. More on, kasi pag read and react, it's either you beat your opponent off the dribble and depende sa i-react ng defense, you get your shots. So it's either I think we have videos later to show it to our audience. It's
Ano yan?
either
Thank you, Sir
it's
Eric. Thank you,
uh,
Sir Eric.
thank
Centennial offside na.
it's either you go for a kick out or you go for a layup or shot your own shot creation capability, which Adamson used in the end to beat us. They hit big shots out of their own shot creativity. And
Montebon.
one thing that's missing, I think binanggit ko to kayo na I miss some, wala tayong option na puntahan sa post. If wala tayong ma-breakdown of our dribble drives, pag walang ma-breakdown, walang post option. Kasi that's another option that you can take. For example, sa case ni Adamson, if wala ma-breakdown sila Montebon, sina Torres, sina Erolon doesn't drive. So he just stays there. So pag walang ma-breakdown, they go to Manzano at the post. And as crafty as said Manzano is, he attracts defense from the low block, which opens up shooters from the outside. For us, wala tayong ganun. So parang in a way nagiging predictable tayo past few games kasi it always ends up na the ball is in Mike's hands from way out deep from the tree. Same as with Pubs. Pubs has been trying. Nakaka-shoot naman si Pubs kahit papano. But yun nga, he has to be more consistent on that one. Si Mike, we know he really doesn't have that arsenal no, sa offense niya. So yun yung naging problema natin. We medyo nalilimit tayo on, binanggit na ni Brian kanina, how good our shooting is. Kasi even if nung fourth quarter kanina, we all know Jacob was struggling, but he still tried to find ways to get open threes for his teammates nung fourth quarter. Kaya lang, for some reason, we can't hit those shots anymore na napapasok natin ng first to third quarters. So that's one aspect also that the team can take a look at. We need to do better to execute our offense na yun nga, it's more of skill work for me kasi yun nga pagka read and react ka, it's either you take shots of your own shot creativity sa harap ng kalaban mo, or you hit those open shots na nabibigay sa'yo, which unfortunately we weren't able to do kanina, similar to the FU game natin nung Sunday.
All right. Thanks for that, Vic. High level overview. I want to talk. I think. Let's talk about a few specific. Before we go to the videos, I want to talk about two specific players first, but we'll do it one by one. Let's start with Mike. Are you guys as worried as I am, as at least in the last two games, the FEU game and the Adamson game, that Mike has been playing more like Wembanyama than Shaq, for the lack of a better term. For the lack of a better no, I mean, okay.
Gets kita, G.
No,
Nagulat ako.
No, there was okay. I think there was a play. There was a play against FEU where nag-boarding siya ng tres at pumasok. But
NU.
Yeah, NU is, yeah. Sorry, NU pala yun. Okay, but I think today I was kind of shocked that Mike was wide open in the corner. And I don't know how he ended up in the corner in the first place. I don't know why he's there.
Mamaya. Nasa ano yan?
Yeah.
No, mamaya.
Yeah.
Mamaya.
Yeah, but
Sino ulit yung kasama ni Ino kanina? May na-mention siya yung kanina eh. Si Melvs ba yung pangalan niya?
Si Melvs. Yeah, si Melvs.
Parang nabanggit niya
Shout out.
dahil wala si Mason, parang nangyayari si Mike yung na-end up minsan.
Actually, even si Pabs, yung pwesto na nag-end up na kay Mason right now, it looks like nag-end up either kay Mike or kay Pabs.
Yeah. No, but I guess my question is, are you guys worried about that? Because parang I think I let it go in the last FEU game, but it's now 2 straight games that he's been playing that way, and we've been giving up offensive rebounds a little bit more, and he's been playing is playing like prime Wembanyama right now. So what do you think, Vic and Brian? So we'll talk about Mike first.
Sige. In that aspect, yes, it's worrisome kasi you're taking away his best contribution in the team. I still believe that his interior presence changes a lot of shots, and at the same time helps us get some rebounds. Sometimes he's still there, but the fact that you mentioned that it's getting more common that he finds himself in unusual spots. And if that's by design by the opponents na parang talagang nilalagay nila sa back, Mike has to do better not to get himself there. But if it's also by design na siya mismo yung nag-decide na lumayo or umangat, he also has to reflect now. He also has to watch videos or mag-usap sila kausapin siya ng coaching staff. Kasi ngayon di natin alam if it's just part of the defense really baiting him to move away from the spots where he's most effective, or baka siya rin mismo nagtatry, may effort na mag-stretch. Kasi whenever he shoots these threes, I don't see a lot of hesitation. It's just a matter of execution, I guess. So, nakikita ko buo naman yung loob niya eh. I mean, siguro 1 or 2 times lang medyo reluctant siya. That's because of the shot clock. But apart from that, parang he looks at peace. He looks like set to do it naman. So that's the way I saw it, at least throughout the season.
Yeah, and I think it's I think we're not questioning his shot selection. I think we're questioning more like we need him inside. Parang that's like we need him to grab those offensive boards. We need him to for those putbacks, because that's what he's been really effective with in the last in our win streak But in the last 2 games, parang he's playing more like Steph than Wembanyama So anyway, Vic, ikaw, what can you say about
Sorry, natawa talaga ako. Sige. Okay, game. Serious. Yung sa on that aspect, kung talagang wala, like yung kanina, there's this, yun sa 3 sequence natin ng 4th quarter, yung 3 opportunities natin. Kung talagang wide open ka naman, I think baka pwede mag-introduce siya ng ibang I think nakaka-atake naman siya si Mike. So I think I would have preferred him to kung ano yung kaya niyang gawin, yun na lang yung ano gawin niya. Kung nakaka-atake naman siya or kung hindi, siguro try niya ilapit ng konti. Meron naman siyang I think nakakapag ano ba to? Short hook for the lack of better term. Pwede niyang ilapit then take a short hook rather than taking those wide open trees. I think sa ball screens there are times na nag-end up na nagpop up din siya. But most of the time I think he rolls all the way to the basket naman. Pero yun lang talaga the ano uh, the concern really is pagka na kunyari yun nga with the way our offense is set up, pag natatanggap niya yung bola na he's wide open, kumbaga Mike has to do a better ano lang talaga, better read or better decisions on those shots. Parang if I'm the coach, parang Mike, you don't if you really want to if you want to take those shots in game, you have to show it in practice. Parang you try to put extra work on it para and then show it to me in practice so that I know that meron ka talagang ganong tira. We all know na free flowing din medyo ano lang talaga. Medyo alanganin talaga na if he takes those open threes kasi we all know that's not part of his offensive quantitative abilities.
Okay. Before we do our video presentation, we'll talk about the the next important topic, which I'm sure a lot of our people in their comments would like to talk about, would be the performance of Jacob, especially over the last two games, right? Um, he's been doing a lot of he's been turning the ball over as if it was a hot potato right now,
Mm-mm.
and although he hit a big shot towards the end, and he's been a little bit more ineffective over the last two games. The defenses have figured him out already. So I guess my question to you guys is like, why? Like, why do you think this is happening to Jacob? But also a food for thought. Um, and I don't want to cause like a gulo dito, but I probably will. Would you have sat him out in that crucial stretch of the fourth quarter, knowing that we also needed his presence and knowing what he could contribute? So maybe Brian, natatawa ka
Napag-usapan
na
na
eh.
namin to eh. Napag-usapan na namin to eh. So, ipapasa ko na lang kay Vic kasi I think he has the perfect tawag dito, breakdown of what this conundrum looks like for us.
Ako oo. I'd also take him out kanina considering yung nature of turnovers niya kanina were all live ball. Were all live ball turnovers. Pag after the ball screen, pag atake sa loob, talaga nawawala sa kanya yung bola. May instances kanina si Ronzoni has been pestering him, playing him physical, and then yung reach. So, may times kayo na talaga na medyo nawawala sa kanya yung bola. And as a player na you'd know na hahawakan mo yung bola talaga for majority, you're the focal point of offense, whether it be an assist or a score, yung mahirap talaga if you perform like that. To be honest, if Jacob performs like that in the next two games, mahihirapan din talaga tayo manalo. So, I'm hoping and praying that Jacob will be able to overcome it. Siguro partly ano na rin siya. I think pinag-usapan din namin to ni Brian kanina sa MOA. Parang uh, we suddenly feel yung absence na rin ni Kian in a way. All defenses are now centered kay Jacob. So, yun yung ano, ito yung after effect. So, it's either others with with our offensive system, so it's up to the others to really step up. So, ako, yun yung I do the same kanina kasi medyo ano talaga yung mga turnovers niya kanina. Yung bola nawawala and then Adamson scores easily on the other end, and it's really been a difficult. Parang breather lang ba just to see hindi naman sa ano you take him out just to give him a better perspective perhaps kung ano bang ginagawa ng Adamson so that he'll make better reads pagpasok niya ulit sa loob ng court.
Yeah, so I think I'm kind of hoping that he becomes more like Steph Curry than Stephon Marbury, diba? Kasi we need that in the
Marbury
May
talaga no?
basketball knowledge is showing up here so
Marbury talaga.
Oh, the guy averaged like I don't know, like so turnover prone as a point guard, and we
Pwede rin Steve Francis, ganun din eh.
Oo, pwede din. Actually, si Jameer Nelson pwede nga din pero I kind of figured na maybe Stephon Marbury and Steph Curry would connect a little bit better.
Matindi.
Okay. Okay, sige. Maybe before we continue the discussion a little bit, we could like to invite our listeners who are only listening to us, maybe to check out the video because Vic will be showing a couple of plays to us and will be providing his analysis. So, Vic, the floor is or the
Digital floor.
don't have a floor here, but whatever, we're handing it over to you. See, while he is setting up, frustrating as this loss might be for LaSalle, we're surprisingly still in control of our destiny. And I want to add now something very quickly. I want to add something very quickly also. There's a part of me that kind of feels na medyo karma to. You know why? Because in the first round against FEU, they missed a wide open layup and gave us a win. In the game against Adamson, Mason was 0 out of 8 and hit a 3-point shot. His only 3-point shot that game in the last 23 seconds to put the game away. But by no means it was a walk in the park for us. So for those who like to say that this might have been a fair result, I don't like saying that, but sure, whatever. But yeah, I don't like saying that, but sure. But may konting karma dito.
So before we go finally to the video part of the episode, if you're listening on Spotify, like what Gio said, we advise you to check out the YouTube episode too, because you will see the visuals. We'll make it available. Through the diligence of Vic and also through the approval and endorsement of Signal, especially from Sir Eric, no, Vic?
Sir Eric, thank you so much. Thank you to Signal and UAAP Varsity Channel for this sa clips natin.
Alright, so Vic will break it down. But before he breaks it down, thank you from our friends over at Ibarra for being partner of the show. So before we proceed to this exciting part of the segment, first time namin to gagawin, and tignan mo, kahit talo, may mga innovations tayo. We don't run out of ideas to present our show. So thank you to Ibarra Watches. Part of the proceeds of their sales go to the LSAA Athletic Scholarship Fund. So, may watch ka na, nakatulong ka pa, and pogi pa yung watch mo. So, speaking of pogi, Vic, ang daming dito, you'll break it down. So, I'll leave this to you. Walk us through these moments.
Sige, so tayo for this episode, tayo ng mga videos, no? We'll show
magte-tape din tayo.
Para tayo nag-game review. So,
sayang wala na si Gio. Babalik na lang siya mamaya.
Babalik siya mamaya. Medyo may kailangan gawin eh. So, we'll do offense and defense. So, we'll show yung mga magandang talking points dito when it comes to offense and defense. So, let's start first with good offensive conversion. So we'll show 2, and then yung tatlong sequence natin ng fourth quarter kanina na we could have gotten the lead if I'm not mistaken. Tapos yung last play ni Earl, yun, medyo magandang talking point yun. So we will also play that later. So mag-start muna tayo dito. So first quarter to, this one is good offensive execution. As you can see, mag-start si Jacob from the top. So we'll play the video na. Yep. So first screen, and then what Mike will do here is he will do rescreen. So important ang rescreen kasi most of the time pag nagre-rescreen ka, that's the next point of attack na nakaka-atake ka na talaga more than the first attempt mo. Yung first screen most of the time alam ng kalaban mo how they'll defend that. So the next option for you is to do a rescreen of the big para doon ka na talaga makaka-atake. So yun yung mangyayari dito. Ayan na, that's the rescreen ni Mike. And then Jacob will go deep into the waters. Ayan, kung makikita nyo, palaging meron double team. As you can see, may tatlong wing guys na shooters on the si Earl on one corner, opposite corner. I think that's Boris. And then on the elbow corner sa 3-point shot, that's JC. So ito yung mangyayari dyan. Kick out, Jacob sees Boris. So medyo pa rin to.
Risky pass pa din.
Treading the needle pass, but nevertheless, it reached. Kasi naka-clog na sila lahat sa paint. I think that's Anabo, and then Erolon, and then Ojarikre, and si Manzano, andyan lang siya. Medyo steady lang siya. And then, yan. Actually, pwede na yung itira ni Boris. That's already a good shot. Pero Boris saw a better shot kay JC. Yun yung mangyayari. And then JC will smoothly convert this. Diba? So that's one video na natin for the good offense back in the first quarter. So we'll share another one. Stop share lang ako, guys. Tapos we'll go for the next clip, which is punta naman tayo ng third quarter. So we'll open up yung third quarter.
Third quarter lasted the whole game.
Yeah. Okay. Kasi yung third quarter yung best quarter natin eh. We outscored them 19-10. So let's just hanapin ko lang siya ulit. May timestamp naman na. I'm not sure if this is the one. Ito na. Tama. Okay. Yan ako lang. Iayos lang natin para mamaya we'll just play it. Same thing to. Almost same variation nung nangyari kanina. Okay? Teka. Parang sumobra yata ako. Wait lang. Ito na. Yan. So we will start with yung una. Let's mag-start tayo dun. Kahit yung botch, yung first play nag-botch siya, nakabawi naman kasi dito. So okay. We'll now share. So ito yung next natin. Third quarter to, guys. So another ulit siya. Let's just wait na mag-share siya. Ayan, okay na siya. I think this will. Yan. So third quarter naman to. So similarly, we run kasi kung mapapansin niyo, it's either we run top ball screens or we run horns. Horns is yung merong dalawang bigs. But I think this time around, so we'll start playing na dito. So nag ghost screen si JC dito. And then si Mike yung talagang screen. Actually, yung first attempt dito, hindi to malinis, but Mike got the ball back. Yan. So medyo mababa yung pasa dito. And medyo masikip yung room ni Mike dito. So medyo mahirap talaga siya. So what Mike will do is i-reset niya to ulit. Ayan. And then Screen ulit. Same concept kanina kung napanood nyo ng first quarter. So we have Earl again, JC, elbow ulit, and si Boris yung nasa kabilang corner. Hindi lang siya kita dito sa video, no? So yun yung mangyayari. Yan. Jacob rejected yung screen ni Mike. And then, as you can see, tatlo. Kung kanina, nung first quarter, dalawa lang yung sumalubong sa kanya. Dito, tatlo na. So, now, what happens here is, yun, may open ka. Open si Earl, open si Boris, open si JC. So, abangan natin kung saan pupunta yung bola on this instance. Yan. Tough pass. Tough pass. Siguro alam lang talaga nila kung nasaan sila. So, that's why Jacob knows where to pass the basketball. So, ito, abot to kay Boris. And that's it. And Boris shoots the 3 at T. So, yan yung ano natin. That's how basically our offense runs. So, yun yung binabanggit natin kanina na the offense really needs skill work. Kasi kung para na tong pro-style offense, if you're watching PBA or even NBA, medyo common tong mga ganitong read and react sets na kailangan talaga skill work in such a way na you can create shots and kaya mo makahit ng open shots. You really need to make the defense pay when you're open. So, like kayo na fourth quarter, may mga na-miss na tayong ganyan kanina eh. So, probably the nerves, the pressure, yung situation. But we got those looks din ng fourth quarter. Hindi lang talaga siya nako-convert. So, stop sharing dito. Then, we will now proceed dun sa fourth quarter. Ayan, yung guys, if you remember, fourth quarter, meron tayong tatlong sequences doon na we all missed those attempts, no? So, we will break it down.
Ang panapos niyan was the 24-second shot clock.
Yep, the 24-second shot clock. So, yun yung dito. So, yun yung natin. So, mag-i-start tayo. Okay. Got it. Ko na siya.
It's really nice to see review this kasi while it's happening, nakikita natin siya. But we cannot really grasp the situation until umabot na siya sa itong tapos na when the dust has settled and when our brains are back to thinking rather than just feeling and reacting all at once. Ito, nakaano na kami dito ni Vic eh. Yung cerebral na, yung, alam mo na nangyari. So, parang ang gusto mo na is intindihin kung ano nangyari. So, I think,
okay, so, teka lang, yan lang natin.
He'll show it to us in a bit, of course.
We inaayos lang natin yung sequence.
Those looks were consistent.
Ayan. I think
so
ito pwede
na yung conversion in it.
I think we can start here. So, ito na. Tatlong looks to. To sum it up, una si JC mid-range jumper and then si Mike had an open jumper from the corner and then yung last one yung one-on-one mid-range tough jumper ni Boris na syempre sabi ko nga skill work kung napasok din yun ni Boris or ni JC, it would have helped us. So teka, let's do this. Loading lang yung sharing. Yan. I think ito na. I think naka-share na siya. So, this is the first attempt na mag-e-end up ito ng mid-range jumper ni JC. So, we'll play it up. Yan na. So, JC will from the corner, umangat na si JC, gets that basketball. So, ang pwesto ulit nito, Pabs is underneath, EJ is on the elbow, and Boris is on the corner. So, yan yung naging natin. First screen, wala. Rescreen. So, that's the rescreen na ni Mike. Ayan, JC takes that shot. So, pwedeng talking point dito. Masyado malayo ba? there's still 4.1. Baka pwedeng
Or could he pasa kay EJ, no? Or,
yes, pwede ba niyang ilapit pa ng konti para mas may space si EJ to take an open jumper. So yun yung talking point na pwede nating i-ano dito. Pubs is also so ang pinaka option lang niya dito is either EJ or Pubs. But nevertheless, JC took the shot. So magmiminti siya.
yeah, and he has that in his locker,
Ayan.
but
Okay?
moment
So that's the first chance. So ngayon, set ulit tayo.
Pablo. Reset.
Again,
Votes
spacing
now, no?
ulit. Spacing, but I think yun nga, si Mike ulit, Pabs, JC,
Too high.
and EJ, ulit sila,
Far out.
position
Five
na
out.
ulit sila. Yeah, 5 out. And then, Boris, yan. Ito na yun.
Mike. That three.
Ang problem dito, si Mike yung pinaka-open talaga, or kung mag-pivot si
Once.
Boris, si Pubs yung mapupuntahan
Next.
with 6 seconds left. So ito yung mangyayari. Yan, with Mike open,
You begin to wonder if there's an extra pass there then.
kay si Pubs nakahit
Pabs,
kanina.
and then Pabs. Oh, and then Pabs to JC.
Pubs
probably.
to JC. Pwedeng
But,
Pubs to JC or pero I think with the shot clock winding down, ang pwedeng option mo dito si Pubs talaga. With Pubs hitting kanina.
Ibig sabihin, sa perspective ni Mike, like he could have maybe hockey pass.
Pwede.
Kasi 4.6 eh. Again, 4.6.
Pwedeng Pubs to JC or pwedeng Pubs na ang dito, pwedeng
pump fake drive.
Or hindi, naka-shoot naman na siya kanina eh. So, 'di ba?
Ganon, tapos Mike for the rebound. Anyway, we still got the offensive rebound. Kasi parang naging instinct ko nila eh. If you, balik mo konti. Ibalik mo lang konti. May naging instinct nila nung tumira na si Mike na everyone went for that rebound.
Yeah, tignan natin. It's, we're putting it back.
Ayan, diba?
Pagtira ni Mike.
Everyone was approaching.
Yeah, tama ka.
JC.
They all know. They all know Mike didn't have that shot, so they all went for the rebound on this one. So, yan, kukuha sila. Yon. So, we got the rebound again. Yan. So, ito na, we'll end up with dito with Boris doing one-on-one. I'm not sure if this was, sino bantay niya dito? Si Montebon pala yung bantay niya rito. Yan. Mike tried to seal.
Which he liked that matchup. He liked.
So tama, pwedeng yun yung isang dyan. Will, magkakaroon ba ng reaction if Boris gave it to Mike? We don't know. Pwedeng hindi, pwedeng oo. Yan, but apparently yun, umalis si Mike sa picture and then Boris took this one-on-one move. Yan, so yan na yung actually wala nang ibang dito eh. The next pass really skip pass kay JC probably kasi si Erolon has to guard two guys here, si Pubs tsaka si JC if ever maisipan pang ipasa ni Boris but with 2.6 left. Yan. We still got the rebound here pero we all know what happened na nag-shot clock
violation. Naubusan na. So magandang nagtagal na kay Pabs yung bola nun.
Yes. So yan yung isang natin na yun medyo magandang talking point din siya. So with what could have been. So magandang discussion din siya to ponder on. So, stop ulit ako. And now, ang next ko na ipapakita sa inyo is yung last play na natin. Which is, kasi parang kanina eh. I think mas pa natin na, pa ba yung pwede pa bang, kasi parang naging kanina was, wait lang. Okay. Parang ang question kasi kanina was, ano pa bang pwedeng nagawa ni ni Earl? Yun yung mga question kanina.
Tama.
So ngayon,
And he came out while you're loading this. He came out saying after the game na wala naman siyang regrets with the three. Yun
oo,
nga, I
kasi
think that comes
ano
from that moment na he hit the three prior and
yes,
alam mo,
correct, correct,
hirap din
correct, correct,
masabi
correct.
kasi 'di ba? Pag lumapit siya sa basket, the argument is always pag nag-miss yung layup, syempre ganun din eh. It's always going to be results bound.
Meron namang ano
Pag
talaga,
pumasok yung
yes.
tira, pag pumasok yung tira, walang sisi. Pag hindi pumasok yung tira, may sisi. Kaya naintindihan
Yep,
ka namin, Alj
yep,
Mariano.
yep, yep.
Uh,
Oo, tama, tama. Aljon, Aljon,
memes aside, di
Aljon.
ba? May memes aside. Kung pumasok yung toss na yun, who knows? Sabi ko naman, nabawian tayo ni Macbelo the year after. So, all's well.
Teka.
You
Babalik
take the good
natin
with the
dito
bad.
sa, yan. So, mag-start tayo dito sa last frame na to. So, share screen tayo.
Also takes me back to that CJ Austria moment. Although yung kay CJ Austria yata was deadlock game eh. Tapos nag-trash siya nun.
Alin?
Kaya medyo it's pressure. Yung game winner ni
Against Adamson. Yeah.
Adamson. Diba?
It was also
So,
against Adamson. So, nandito tayo
it's
sa,
always like that.
tong
Ito, yung
point na to.
possession na Adamson. Nandito tayo
Yeah.
sa likod eh. Ewan ko kung
Yeah.
nahagip tayo. Parang probably na.
Yan. So, makukuha to ni Erolon.
Tapos nasundutan siya ni Earl
Then,
eh.
yun. Yan yung sundot ni Earl. Tapos, nawala, nag-scramble. Fortunately,
7 seconds
si
nakuha.
Pabs yung nakakuha. Yan. Ayan. So, magkasabay halos
Next.
si... I think, pinag-uusapan
Jacob.
natin dito na parang... pinag-uusapan natin dito na parang ang hirap ipasa nito kay kay Jacob kasi parang pantay sila eh. So Pabs will really look to Earl on at this on this
forward
moment.
looking ka nga.
'Di ba?
Yeah.
Yep, with
Kasi
6 seconds.
inisip ko rin Inisip ko rin ngayon, kung mag-hand off siya doon kay Jacob, may trailing defender ka din eh, na hindi ka sure sa
ito si
mo, diba?
hindi ko alam po si I'm not sure who that.
Si Torres ata to.
Tama si Ray Allen. Now, na si Earl. Yan. So, Earl now gets the basketball.
Wait, if we pause here, I think kung wala si Cedric Manzano, Earl would have gone for a layup. Sa nakita ko lang. Kaso, meron eh. So, inisip ko, kung lumapit man siya, matcha-challenge pa din siya. And because he just hit the 3 not so long ago.
Or, actually, yun yung school of thought eh. Earl hit a 3 a while ago. That's why he had this confidence to take the shot. Hindi ko rin siya masisi dito. Kasi naka-shoot siya kanina, crucial din yon. So, he had the confidence to take an attempt. Pero, yan. Kung mapapansin natin, teka, ibalik natin ang konti.
Siya nakapag-fake kasi tumira na din siya.
Yan. Pagdating dito, si Medina, tumalon din kagad eh. So, I think next talking point dito, may silbi ba kung mag-shot fake ka? That's another one. Shot fake and then probably shot fake. Pag lumapit siya, help si Manzano, ma-open si Pabs. Kasi I don't think Ray Allen will be able to recover kasi based from this angle, yung mukha ni Ray Allen, na kay Jacob siya nakatingin eh. So, pwedeng mangyari dito was pagtira ni Earl. Yan, pagtira, pag pump fake, let's assume may pump fake yan. Lapit siya. Si Sed will help and then there's one final pass kay Pabs to probably one final pass kay Pabs or probably kung talagang wala ng time probably mid-range jumper siguro from Earl
or Jacob kung makita si Jacob
na naka-shoot din kanina naman si Earl was able to convert a pull-up mid-range din kanina. So we all know what happened next. And that's the ball game. So yan yung isang magandang talking point dyan. So
iniisip ko when we were playing that, parang mahirap din i-judge yung decision making ni Earl. Yes, we can be cynical about it to a
Yeah.
degree. So, yung kailangan mo intindihin when he has the ball and yung line of sight niya, I can understand perfectly bakit naman niya tinira. Siguro yung pump fake na lang yung next what if niya eh. Kasi nga, the time was there. But as I was saying, to you in person maybe, and also before we started the recording, pwede rin kasi inisip niya na kung tinira niya and hindi pumasok, may clean up eh. Clean up option. Whereas kung iniwan niya na 2 seconds, 1 second before he released, make or break. So I think that was his train of thought. When he caught the ball, saw the time, 4 seconds, that's enough when he launched na, I mean, fortunate bounce goes to Mike, Jacob, or Pabs. They can make that basket, diba? Yun yung nasa isip ko. Especially na nangyari na siya 3 days ago against FU. Then, it's just hindi talaga malinis yung rebound when we needed it the most. So, siguro, sa side ko, parang ganun yung nakita ko based on putting myself in their shoes. Parang, Pabs couldn't pass it to Jacob because if he passed it to Jacob, he's not sure if masusundutan din siya. So, sayang din yung effort niya, diba? He went for the safe forward-looking option, which was early. He's already there. Unfortunately, 2-on-1 disadvantage, and Earl only had one sound option left. Dun sa moment na yun, now if he looks at the tape, of course, mapapaisip din siya.
Oo,
Boy,
yeah.
definitely could have done
Correct.
something better. Pero pag pumasok yun, walang sasabihin ganyan yung mga tao. So,
Oo naman.
that's
Kaya ano siya
really
eh, kaya it's really food for thought
circumstances.
talaga. Yeah, it's really food for thought kung ano yung pwedeng mangyari. Okay. So, nagpakita tayo ng offense, now we'll go to the defense. Ito yung mga nakita ko na medyo ano dito. We could have done better, especially when we play defense. So mag-start tayo dito. So second quarter to when we are doing pressure defense. So i-share screen ko lang.
Yeah, this is against one of the most defensive teams in the league, maybe the second best defensive coming into this game.
Yan. So second quarter. So actually most of the videos na nandito is yung tatlo is all from the second quarter, and there's one nung fourth quarter, yung open three ni Erolon from the corner of our zone defense. So mag-start muna tayo dito. So we're doing naka 2-2-1 tayo dito na zone press. So we'll start with si Montebon, dala-dala yung bola. Yan. Montebon picks up the ball. And then ang next sequence na mangyayari dito was he will easily pass it to Franzman in the middle. So ipakita muna natin yung kung ano yung nangyari talaga. Yan. Ang nangyari dito is that once Franzman gets the ball from the middle, it was an easy pass to Anabo for a layup. Yan na natin to Then tsaka natin ibabalik. Yan. So natin ulit, babalik natin ulit para makita natin kung ano yung pwedeng room for improvement on this instance. Ano natin siya. So dito pwedeng probably I think for when you're on a zone press, I think or even I think man press din naman siguro applicable dun siya. Hindi ka pwede nagpapatanggap ng bola sa gitna kasi it opens everything up. So it's either actually kung either two ways kung nakuha ni Franzman, pwede na niyang i-dire-diretso yan, or yun nga, since na Voris pick him up, naipasa niya kay Anabo, but the rule here really is walang middle pass. You give the pasa sa gilid kasi since meron kang kalaban doon the sideline, hindi pwedeng directly from the middle. So ang ako personally, what I would have wanted to happen sana dito is that una, protect middle, that's basic, and at the same time, once the ball handler picks up the ball dito, yan, katulad ng nangyari dyan kay Montebon, mas naka-pressure ka pa dapat para hindi masyado madali yung pasa. Kasi dito it was bounce pass yung binigay dito ni Montebon kay Franzman eh. Look at how far Jacob and Doy here is. So parang once when you're doing a press, pag pinick up yung bola, you have to swarm the ball handler para walang madaling pasa, and at the same time, yun nga, walang easy pass, and at the same time mas may chance kang maka-force ng turnover. Kasi andun ka na sa mukha nung defender na nag-pick up ng dribble. So yan lang. So yun lang naman yung ano natin dito. What what we Pato could have done better on this sequence. So next naman still on zone. Since naka-zone tayo kayo ng mag-aano tayo ng zone defense natin kanina. Next is okay.
Ano ba yan? Kid Rodzoni o Austin Rodzoni?
Di
Di
ko
na
nga
naglalaro yung isa eh. Di na kasi siya hindi siya si Mr. 69. Shout out
Oo
to
nga
you,
eh.
Austin Rodzoni. We
Yes.
see you. Pinahirapan mo rin si Jacob, so shout out to you. Gawin mo rin yan kay Jared Bae. One of these days.
Yes, sir. Ayan, so i-share na natin ulit. Okay. Share. Let's antay lang natin na mag-share yung screen natin. Okay, so still, second quarter, naka-zone tayo. Ang ano dito is that it's more of know your personnel or know your opponent. Like for this case, kasi there were times na kung napapansin nyo, i-move forward ko na. So, yan. Pag medyo ano to, normal ang tong ganitong klaseng formation if yung kalaban mo ay naka 2-3 zone. So, guard at the top, there's a big na tumatanggap, nagpa-flash in the middle, and you have two wings on the corner, and there's another big underneath na nagtitrace. Normally, tracer tong ano na to eh. Pero dapat opposite siya ng opposite. Actually, to tama to. Opposite dapat nung big na nasa taas. So, hindi sila pwedeng same side. Kasi medyo mahirap yung ganun pasa. Agaw yun lagi pagka naka-zone yung kalaban mo. So, better na opposite side sila. So, tama si Ojarikre on this case na nasa opposite side siya ni Franzman. But in this case, ang gusto nating iano is that if you know, kung si Ojarikre yung tumanggap sa gitna instead of Franzman, pwede mong hindi yan dikitan. Kasi una-una wala siyang shooting, wala rin siyang dribble drive capability. So, iiwan mo talaga si Ojarikre dyan. But for this case, si Franzman to. So, what happened here was, pagpasa kay Franzman, yan. That's an easy basket for Franzman kasi hindi siya kagad pinick up ni Mike. But, so, yun. Parang, kailangan lang ma-identify sino ba yung kalaban ko, ano bang tendencies ng kalaban ko, ano ginagawa ng kalaban ko so that we know better. Alam natin kung ano yung pwede natin gawin on that instance. So, next naman, same thing din to, pero kay Sed Manzano din naman, second quarter din. I'll just go to that section. Same thing din yan against that 2-3 zone. Yeah. Towards the end yan eh. Towards the end ng second quarter to. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ano yan, big moment kasi that's when Adamson established that small lead. Nabawi naman natin.
Yes,
But
yun yung pang ano nila.
Kung nitpick natin yung free throws, we might as well nitpick how we end quarters and halves. So, ito yun.
Yep. Tiga, iyan na lang natin ha, dun sa part na okay. Balik natin. Yeah, so share.
So if you're on Spotify, again, a reminder to check the YouTube version dito sa part na to ng episode. Maybe we can put some videos as well on Spotify, but normally when you use Spotify, nakikinig lang kayo dyan. So, head of
Yan.
Q&A.
So,
Okay, ito.
again, naka 2-3 zone tayo rito. Dito pa lang, as far, ang layo pa lang, nakapwesto na agad si Manzano sa gitna for that same offensive formation kanina. Normally, parang 1-1-3-1 yung ano ng offense niyan. So, guard, wing, big, and big sa ilalim. So, ito yung mangyayari dito. Yan. So, that's, so, una-una, sobrang dali nung pasa. And after Manzano got the ball on this position, yan. Yun. So, dapat, ang ano dito is that, kung alam mong nakakatira ng ganon yung big, so might as well either you bluff, para alam mo na, para medyo magdadalawang isip lang siya, or kung alam mong walang dribble drive capable, parang si Franzman, wala naman, I would let Franzman put the ball on the floor. Or maybe probably kahit kay Manzano, at least makaka-recover na yung defense natin if we allow them to put the ball on the floor rather than taking those easy jump shots or floaters in the middle. So yung last naman natin, I think fourth quarter na yata to, no? Fourth quarter. Ito yung crucial 3 ni Erolon.
Yeah, took them the lead if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Put
Mukhang
them
tama
ahead.
din yung...
This was a silent fourth quarter for us. We scored half of the points before the 2 minutes, and the other half only within the last 2 minutes of the game. And Adamson capitalized on that. Of course, they allowed us to opt for that. Yun nga, sinasabi ni Vic kanina, yung open looks, because the way they're pressuring Jacob as force Jacob to either lose the ball or defer to teammates. Yun naman yung
Pero
left
yung
side
ano
doon.
to, ako personally, I'm not saying mali na nag-zone tayo, but I think more of, sa akin parang it's more of ano lang siya, tweaks. Kasi tama naman yung ginagawa natin, is just that we need to put tweaks. Kasi ang layo nung, we gave up 84 to 61 in this game, which is actually, if you'll ask me, tama lang na you give up 12 to 15 points per quarter to enable you to win a ball game. So I think sa akin yung 61 points is really on target, na yun yung binibigay mo sa kalaban mo. It's just that may mga tweaks na pwedeng tignan, rooms for improvement yung zone defense natin. So hanapin ko lang ulit.
Wala, no? Naalala ko lang din ulit yung first round score natin, 60-60 naman ata. So, really that kind of ball game.
Wait lang nga, Brian. Just, okay, 350.
Yeah, just speak, Hana. You can, pag nakita ko ng screen, nakita na namin yung screen. Para lang walang dead air. I mean, kasi for Spotify, when I listen to our episodes sometimes too, hirap pag dead air.
Yes,
So,
yes. We do understand.
I'm putting in failures habang hinihintay ko yung video. Yeah, so that kind of matchup. And nag-comment sa YouTube natin, si Carlo Rago, I believe he's from the ISCO side of things, but he's polite enough to comment insightfully, saying that if low scoring yung game talagang it favors Adamson. We've seen that time and again. They only managed to win one game na high scoring. That was that USD collapse.
Yep.
Okay, so ito na yung video.
So, yeah. So, ito yon. Again, kung mapapansin nyo, yung 2-3 natin dito mataas. Ako, ang thinking ko dito is that's why it's high, is we are already trying to prevent we're making it tighter para kung sino man yung big na tatanggap, whether it's Manzano or who, pero mukha naman palaging si Manzano to. We want to make that space tighter para hindi madaling maipasa sa gitna. That's the reason why mataas. Kasi kung kasi baka may ang taas ni Boris, ni Pabs, and ni Mike on this instance. Parang hindi sila, bakit ang taas nila? We're supposed to be in the zone. Ang tingin ko dito, I can only guess, is that we want to make that space tighter for the entry pass sa high post. And at the same time, kung may shooters ka sa elbow, you can easily, sa wings, you can easily recover. Ang ano lang dito is that kailangan maging aware. Ang panlaban sa ganito kasi is overload offense pa din. You try to overload, which is yun yung nangyari dito. That's what Adamson did here. But I think ma-address naman yan by just being aware of the personnel ng kalaban mo, ng sino yung shooters, 'di ba? Parang more of knowing who your opponents are. So yun pa rin dito. So dun pa rin siya babagsak. So we'll now start. So una muna nag-screen si Sed. As you can see, si Erolon is already running to the corner. Kasi nakita na niya na mataas yung zone. So malamang nag-overload na yan sila. Umangat si Medina. Yan, actually dito pa lang, pagpasa pa lang kay Medina, kung pwede lang ako sumigaw, na si Boris maririnig ako na to watch out for this one. Kasi I'm not too sure if Boris is alert na may tao sa corner na very, very, very wide open. So, but Boris prevented the first fake pass. So, binalik ulit ni Medina kay Montebon. Pabs recovered right away to prevent Montebon from taking the shot. Walang mapuntahan. Wala. Yan. So, ang nangyari na dito is umangat na si Sed. Ang ano dito is I think naggamble si EJ dito for a steal. Yun yung naging ano dito eh. Yan. Ang problem niya, naggamble siya. It left Boris to play Medina and Erolon, which are both shooters. So yun yung ano dito. Yun yung making well, not problem but more of a concern kasi yun yung mangyayari dito. Ayan na. Pagpasa kay Medina, it's really automatic to give the ball to Erolon kasi I think si EJ, hindi ko alam kung may time siya dito makarecover. This was an open shot already. So kung babalik natin siya. So kung dito pa lang, pwedeng si Boris nag-cover na kagad kay Erolon and kasi kung pipili ka na lang talaga sa dalawa, mas babantayan ko na si Medina na lang papatirahin ko dito and I think wala pa naman siyang na-convert sa game eh. So siya na yung papatirahin ko dito and I felt like kung si Boris naka-cover na kay Erolon, I don't even think Medina will take the shot kasi may 10 seconds pa on the shot clock. So it would have prevented or probably
si Erolon ang may license sa kanila.
Baka nag-set up pa sila dito kung at this moment naka-recover agad si Earl na ay si EJ na yung magre-recover kay Medina and Boris went to Erolon right away para kasi yun nga at this moment ang isip na ni Erolon is to pass ni Earl Medina is to pass kay Erolon sa corner. So probably kung si Boris andun na kagad and si EJ na lang talaga yung magi-sprint pabalik kay Medina. So maybe this would have had a better ending rather than that open shot. So yun yung mga dito.
And
so
look at Boris's reaction. He knew.
Diba?
Eventually. He knew that it was his misjudgment at least of that situation.
Correct. Ayan. So yan yung mga natin. So those are yan yung mga natin. Pwedeng talking points for this game from what we have seen so far. Ayan. Ayan siya.
clearly what we have just seen, definitely mapag-usapan yun or napag-usapan na. I don't know when they conducted their
Oo
usually
naman.
ba after the game or
Yep.
the day after. But whenever it is, definitely uh, so bago kayo mag-comment na sana nakikita to ng coaches, for sure nakita na nila yan.
Nakita na nila to.
If it,
Yes.
Oo.
Yes, yes, yes,
Para
yes,
lang
yes.
clear
Nakita
baka
na
kasi
ko.
mamaya may mga mag-comment sa episode sabihin nila, dapat pakita nyo to sa coaches. Na, I mean,
Nope.
we appreciate that. But at the same time,
Alam na
nauna
yan
na sila
nila.
dyan.
They know
Alam na
better
nila.
than
Na,
us. Yeah. They know
at
better
the
than us.
moment na nangyari pa lang yan, alam na nila. As in, hindi
Yes.
na nila kailangan minsan ng video. That's how dedicated they are to their craft. So,
Yep,
we
yep.
don't want to take
Alam na yan.
credit. It's more for
alam.
us. It's more for us to consume from our perspective, diba?
Yes,
Linawin lang natin.
from
We are
us
not,
fans na
yeah, we
ano
don't
lang.
want their jobs. It's too stressful.
Yes, 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 yes. Magaling
Mas
po
masaya
sila sa
manood.
ginagawa nila. Magaling
Yeah,
po
mas
sila sa
masaya
ginagawa
manood at
nila.
mag-cheer na lang. Kesa baka mag-receive. Kasi sana kayo na lang sa football, okay? Iba usapan. Joke lang. Yeah, so I'll just play a stinger and then babalik na namin si Gio. Tapos na yata siya sa errands niya or whatnot.
Yep.
And we'll discuss the UP preview.
So on Saturday, we play the UP Fighting Maroons, another team that we've beaten in the first round. And now, technically, our backs aren't against the wall, but come on. Like, I think we need to win a game. Like, we can't. And I think the game will be a little bit different because UP has obviously secured their twice to beat already. But they would absolutely love it if we don't make the Final Four. And we need to
Halos lahat
make
naman
sure that
yata.
Oo, oo. Oo, halos lahat naman yata.
Moral
So,
ano yun eh.
I think,
Moral victory sa kanila yun.
yeah,
Alam mo, inisip kong neutral pipe, wet dream. Walang Lasal, walang Ateneo sa Final Four. Which right now is not really off the cards. So, doon yan sa utak nila.
yeah. So anyway, let's do a very quick preview of the UP game. But I think we've discussed it quite extensively on what our team needs to do already moving forward. What are you guys most worried about in the UP game? You, Brian, I'll start.
Kasi
I'm worried you'll be there, pero okay lang.
na-scouting report ko sila kanina eh. Sila ng Ateneo. For some reason,
nakapag-scouting report ko kanina.
Nag-extend ako kasi yung girlfriend ko taga-UP tsaka taga-Ateneo na officially. So, anyway, I think what worried me earlier is that they had that na talagang na-flex nila yung depth nila. Yes, they found themselves in a hole, which was quite unique to their previous wins because Vic and I, we had this discussion that when you observe how UP won their previous games prior to the Ateneo game, they all had the same team that they started really strong. They had good first quarters, yung KU game, FEU game. They really jumped the gun. But this Ateneo game was different. So it shows to me that they can win as long as it's mathematically possible. Parang hindi sila natitinag. That's how my impression is of them recently.
Yep.
And I think nahanap na nila yung balance dun sa mga guards nila. Earlier today, I think Fortea and Alarcon didn't have the best of days offensively, but Abadiano stepped up. So parang ano yan eh, ito yung iniisip natin sa depth natin before with Baclaan, Cortez, and the others. I mean, we had that luxury before. But when we lost Ian, nawala yung ganitong luxury. But now, we see UP play. Also, sina Gary Stevens, Francis Naruka, they're also finding their feet inside. So they're becoming steadier presences now than, let's say, 6 to 8 games ago, where sometimes they are being used as scapegoats when things don't go well for their team. And I think they're more defensively resolute now. Oo, pag tinignan mo yung first quarter na Ateneo, baka hindi. Baka you might say, oh, they tend to lead pa din. But I think it's a 40-game lens when you look at UP. Because there will be some leaks in those 10-15 minutes. But throughout, parang ang hirap. They make it difficult for opponents to score north of 80 points. So unless they foul a lot, but even if they foul a lot, as USD found out, it's not a guarantee that you'll beat them. So it's really difficult now. I think every it they really fit the term peaking at the right time. But I guess the solace for me coming into this UP game, like just like what I mentioned earlier, is that we have to adapt the desperation, that under mentality, the expectations to win are now again on UP, much like our first round meeting. Everyone expected UP meet to beat LaSalle, but we proved them wrong. So I suppose the Archers, whenever they're counted out, that's when they show up. So that's my rallying cry. So I hope if anyone from the team is watching.
Ikaw, Vic, what are you worried about?
Yung rhythm nila. Once they get their rhythm, especially their guards, I think yun naman yung ano dyan. Fortea, Badiano, Roll, when they start to
Ramogad.
get their rhythm and Noy, ang hirap nila talunin if their guards get comfortable and they start getting their rhythm scoring, whether it be mid-range or uh, dribble penetrations or from the three-point region, mahirap na silang talunin. So again, yun, we have to step up again defensively, uh, keep the game as close as we can, and then hopefully we will be able to pull it out in the end this time. If we coming off two close game losses, so baka naman if we keep the game close this time around, we will be able to pull that win in the end.
Go, Gio. What
Yeah,
is you?
no. What I'm most worried about in with this UP game um is that their guards kasi can create anywhere, and I'm generally worried na na if we don't have the right offensive schemes, if we don't have the right offensive schemes to counter whatever their offense will give us, we might dig ourselves a very big hole, which will be very hard for us to get out of. That's what I am most worried about. So I hope and I believe that the team will be able to adjust in the next few days, because because it's what they have to do.
2 days.
They really, yeah, the
Yeah.
next 2 days. Yeah. And I think as a final, probably as a final shout out before we end today's episode, is that a few weeks ago we asked ourselves a question: was the long break beneficial for the Archers or not? I think, according to our producer Pam, she said hindi. So, what are your
All the way
thoughts?
from Vietnam.
All the way from
Yeah.
Vietnam. So,
Yeah, I mean
what are
the
your thoughts?
results and sige, I'll open this. And that's true. And we cannot say that it benefited them at all. Hindi lang kasi sa talo eh. I guess the most um difficult thing to see while they are losing is how they lost the games. Kita rin na yung sharpness, the competitive edge was lost. And Pam made a good point. She doesn't like to show herself here, but she made a good point about us already having that eye, the Archers already having that eye on the Ateneo matchup that got postponed. Therefore, maybe they locked in on that and they forgot the rest. So that's valid. I cannot speak for the players kung ganun nga. But for her to see it that way, it presents something to think about. Kasi ano nga, maybe that over eagerness. Especially Ateneo was a team that we wanted wanted it back. We wanted that game back as that fourth quarter in that game showed. We wanted to a redo. But yun nga, baka the FU game and the Adamson game got in the way, and it was that kind of period where you wanted them swept aside, but you can't because that's not how the schedule works anymore. So maybe it's a factor too, but ultimately yun, na kulang din sila sa sharpness, decision making. Sometimes they make good decisions, but maybe the ratio is like our free throw percentage nga. Don't make better decisions. I mean, we make poorer decisions more than quality decisions. So yun yung naapektuhan ng break.
And I think for what it's worth, right? Like, look, the last two games sucked. But if we win the next two games, we come into the Final Four with fantastic momentum, and we'll never really know what happens. Like, at the end of the day, the season isn't over yet. So I think
And it's
we
been
just
crazy enough to see anything can happen. Like UE beating FU, who knows, diba? Who knows?
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really how you end, diba? So
Yeah.
uh, so we've seen teams come down from 3-1 in the NBA in the past. And hopefully, like, we're not yet there yet, but like once we get enough momentum and that confidence, the confidence, I think, is actually one of the more important things. I think, yeah, and I think before we end this episode, at least for today, is, I guess, I just want to say one more thing na lang about this whole free throw shooting thing. I think the team knows very well that their free throw shooting is bad, and, like, I hope that we can alleviate the pressure from the boys to a little bit, na na parang, alam mo yun, they get to the line a little bit more confident, eh. So maybe that's something that
I-reverse psychology natin. Parang, we trust your free throw shooting. Yan, ganyan.
yeah, we trust your free throw shoot. I know. No, wait a minute. Na mali na predictions ko, eh. So I think we trust your free throw shooting.
Yeah.
Yan.
Kasi we cannot control how they consume not just our content, but also the comments that come in the social media
Yeah,
sort of space, diba? Naalala ko may The Athletic podcast yung Man United. Sa side daw nila, some of the players tend to consume it. So maybe ours are not an exception. They also come across
Yeah.
the remarks, diba? So let's
Yeah.
just push the narrative. Be as
Oh.
encouraging as we should be as fans, diba? As fans. So
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
that's the messaging there.
Tumingin naman tayo na pinapanood nila tayo. Like,
No!
hi mom, hi dad.
Hi Mason Amos. Thank you for following us on IG.
I know only our mom and dads watch this, eh. So, and a couple of other people who say hi to us.
Every now and then. Speaking of, singit ko lang, kasi diba nanood ako ng Ateneo UP game. May taga-UP. Friendly naman siya. So, tinanong niya ako, may recording pa kayo? Sabi ko, yes, meron naman. And he watches now every episode. And naman, may Lasal background din siya. So, shout out to you, sir. Kapilo sa ticket kanina. Na nag-hi. Hindi na rin siya nagpasabi ng name. Ayaw daw niya na shout out. But thank you also for watching the show. Ayan, so ilan na sila, mga 10, more or less?
Yeah. Yeah, and ako si Sanju approached me the other day. I just want to say, I hope I got your name right. Ang lakas ng arena nun. But thank you for listening to the Quiver podcast.
Vic, pati ba si Coach? Si Coach Gabby.
Coach Gabby, shout out Coach Gabby. In case you're watching, special shout out sa iyo, Coach Gab.
LSGH.
All right. All right. So thank you for listening to the Quiver podcast. Please like and subscribe to our page. And as always, we'll always be here. Win or lose, it will always be Animo Lasal for us. And at the end of the day, we still control our destiny. And let's support our boys this coming Saturday and on Wednesday. So thank you for listening to the Quiver podcast. And Animo
Lasal.